All right, guys, welcome. Please do me a quick favor and subscribe and like. This is a new channel. We are growing, so make sure you click, you subscribe, join the bandwagon if you like comics, because we are growing and obviously we need your help to grow. Now, The Fall of X issue number 3 is written by Gary Dungan, and the artist is Lucas Werneck and Jethro Morales. So the last time we left off, obviously the terrorist organization called Arcus against mutants was sending sentinels to deploy and destroy mutant kinds, kick them out of Krakoa. And basically, we are in issue number 3 of Fall of X. And the issue starts with basically Juggernaut. Juggernaut is carrying what's remained of Krakoa, the island of mutants. And, he's a strong guy. He's carrying it on his back, very heavy. And, the shield stations, those helicopters, or not helicopters, those airplanes, they are controlled by Arcus. And they found Juggernaut. They start shooting at him. Basically, that's the opening scenes of Fall of X. Obviously Juggernaut doesn't like it, but he tells them, y'all can kill me. You guys cannot kill me. He takes out branches and he throws it at them, at Arcus soldiers. And a lot of them, they're gonna die and they're gonna be hurt. Now, we switch into a scene where Dr. Gregory is escaping with Cyclops, in which, if you remember, Cyclops was he was basically in court for his judgment day, and he was to be executed. But Dr. Gregory, she saved him from the robots, from the Sentinels, and they're trying to escape. And obviously Cyclops doesn't have his glasses, the ones where he can see and shoot. So she's kind of guiding him through the halls, but he tells her that, hey, I know my way. Just by holding and touching the walls, I can find my way there. I know exactly where it is. Next thing you know, soldiers are coming through, and zoom, Cyclops just shoots the laser beam at them, And who pops out? Basically, Magic pops out, and she's like, hey, I got your ruby quartz visor, here you go, so now you can see. And he takes them and he feels better, can see that it's Magic that helped him out. And then we switch to Aracle, the planet Aracle, where the mutants are gathering for war. And of course, who's dictating that gathering? It is none other than Apocalypse himself. He's there, he's telling them, if there's any real mutants, line up, we're gonna go to war. And one of them is volunteering, and he's saying, I'm fighting for mutants because this is my kind, and I want to free my people. And then Apocalypse is all like, you're true mutants. And then we transition to Rogue. Is she pops up and she can transport them into the stations, the sword stations, where they're gonna go in and they're gonna try to land on Earth. They're all in there. All the mutants are transferred into that station, and they're all gonna jump into Earth to save, what's remaining of the mutants, and survive and take out Arcus. Now, basically, we switch back to where Emma Frost is, and Tony Stark is telling them that he receives a message, forwarding it to Thunderbird now, where they could find, Firestar, because Dr. Stasis, he's basically is trying to escape. And that as he escaped, Catherine catches him and just like punch his helmet off. And he's like, don't touch me, because basically, if you kill me, I'll never tell you what Firestar is. And I have a chip in my head that's implanted in my head, and I can basically do whatever And then she's like, oh, you mean this chip? She took the chip while she knocked off his helmet. And he's like, wait, what? And Emma Frost, she basically got that message, and she's like, Sync, go get her, and Sync just flies in there and burns the Arcus soldiers and gets her. Now Dr. Status is basically caught, he's caught, and he's in front of Emma Frost, and she's like, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna run through in your head the worst nightmare that you have about mutants. And he's deaf from the mutants that he hates the most, like Wolverine, Cyclops, over and over again. It's a couple seconds in reality, but for him it's like almost 10 years. That's what she was saying. And then next thing you know, she basically like cracks him, and he falls back. But it's not over, because Firestar shows up and she burns him to hell. Like literally just burn him into like almost ashes, and she's back home, Now we fall back to this last scene, where, Cyclops, they go back to his home, which is the moon. And, Dr. Gregory is telling him that this is where Nimrod went in the moon. He's basically doing something in here. He's repurposing the location into a relay station for mining settlements, and then as they walk inside like a room, and Nimrod is there, he's standing there tall, big, and he's all like, oh, Dr. Gregor, you managed to found me, and she's like, I can trust him, don't worry about it, let me talk to him. And Cyclops is like, Dr. Gregor, that thing is not your husband, so stay away. She goes near him. She's like, Nimrod exists because of my husband's sacrifice. I know I can calculate the truth of it. And then, he's caressing her as if she was his wife. And Nimrod says, Dr. Gregor, I choose not to lie to you. Next thing you know, crack, snaps her neck all the way back. Like her head is like all the way cracked all the way back into like, facing Cyclops, and Cyclops just blasts Nimrod and says, you psycho, and Nimrod is like, we're taking over, our sword is over your head, we're landing into the cities, Sentinel City is gonna be a thing, and hell, we're gonna take over, we're gonna sterilize this hellish planet. That's what he says. And that is the end of the issue, guys. Overall, it's a good issue. I feel like they're moving very quickly right now in like the scenes. There's basically no time to like recognize what's what's going on in like all the mutants' head. They're moving from scene to scene, and there's so many mutants to cover. That's probably why, But it's a really good story. I can't wait for it. And who knew that Dr. Gregory, the traitor of Arcus, was gonna get killed? I didn't know that. That was a shock, So that's that was the last scene was probably the best scene in this comic. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said before, we're a new channel. Subscribes help me out, and I will see you guys next time.